In Creo Parametric, you can use a boundary blend in order to create a sheet metal primary wall. Now, I'll be honest, in the real world, I've never had an occasion to do that, but for the sake of completeness, let me show you how to do that. Here I am in an assembly model with a skeleton. I used this in a previous video in order to demonstrate how to create a sheet metal offset wall. Well, now I'll do the same stuff, but I will use the boundary blend feature. Let me start off by creating my new part in the assembly. Let me change the subtype to sheet metal. I'll create, let's call it rack 5 for the top rack. I'll hit the OK button. I will use my standard sheet metal template. Let me hold down the right mouse button in order to get to the default constraint and hit the check mark. Now with my part created, I will select it and then use activate. And let's copy the geometry into this part that we're going to use for making the sheet metal. I will change the collector to chain so I can select a bunch of curves. I'll select this one, hold down the control key, select another curve, and I have a couple other curves in here. I'll grab all 4 of those. So that is good. I will hit the check mark. Now let me open up this part in its own separate window. So there you see the 4 curves that I copied. Here is the boundary blend command. It is right in the walls group on the ribbon. First, I'll select some curves in the first direction. So I will select, let me select this little sliver over here. Oh, is it getting the whole thing? Yeah, grab the whole thing. Sometimes you have to use the shift key in order to get what you want. Let me hold down the control key and grab the other curve over here. And there you see a preview of the geometry, how your sheet metal wall would be created. You can change the thickness from the dashboard. You can define curves in a second direction if you want to. So for example, I could activate the collector and then select this curve in the second direction. I'll hold down the control key and select the other curve in the second direction. It ends up with the same results. If you go to the constraints tab, we can see that we have free boundary conditions. Later on, I'll show you where that can come into play. Just like with surface boundary blends, you have control points if you need to define them. Here from the options tab, we have some of the standard options for creating sheet metal walls. Here's an option to add bends on sharp edges. I'll show that in the next example. You have your bend allowance, and from the properties tab, you can change the name of the feature. But I'm happy with this, so let's hit the check mark, and we have our sheet metal wall created. I will hide my copy geometry feature as I usually do. Let's take a look at a second example. I'll go back to the assembly model. Let me create another rack. I'll hit the create button, and still sheet metal is selected, which is what I want. Let me go to call this one rack 2, and I'll click the OK button and use my standard sheet metal template. Once again, I will locate this component using the default constraint. Then I'll just use the middle mouse button, which is the same as the check mark on the dashboard. This time, let me create a copy geometry feature, and I'm going to select a surface. I will tap the right mouse button so this entire quilt gets selected. Then I will left click on it. This is all that I need in the copy geometry feature. Let me hit the check mark over here. Oops, I accidentally created the top level. I forgot to activate. Let me delete that copy geometry feature and then activate and repeat those steps very quickly. Copy geometry, tap the right mouse button to get to the quilt, left click to select, and this time I'll just use the middle mouse button in order to copy the geometry. I will open up this part in its own separate window. And if you take a look at this quilt, it's got sharp corners in the model, but I can deal with that when I create my boundary blend. Let's hit the boundary blend command, and I will select this little sliver of the edge. I'm going to use the shift key, and you can see that I'm getting the from to boundary. I want it to go all the way over to there. Then with the first direction collector still active, I will hold down the control key, select a little sliver of this edge. You can see the preview. That is not so great. I've taken my hand off of the control key. Let me hold down the shift key to try to get to the from to loop. This is the wrong one. I will tap the right mouse button, There we go. That's the one that I want. So I will left click. And so there you see a preview of the geometry. I'm going to zoom in here. In the preview, it shows a sharp corner. But if we go to the options tab, here it's automatically going to add bends on the sharp edges. I'm going to make that bend a little bigger. Let's make it a value 5. Still, there's no preview of the bend, but when I hit the check mark, well, we end up with bends in the model. Let me hide the copy geometry feature so you can see that there are indeed bends in here. Now, the interesting thing is, if I go to edit definition, well, now in the preview, we can see that we have bends in there. So for some reason, when you are initially creating it, it doesn't show the bends, but when you edit definition, you will see the bends later on. All right, so that's good for that example. And again, I struggled to find use cases where you would actually use this, but I do want to show one other example where maybe this will come into play. Here I have another sheet metal part, and I've got a shrink wrap feature of some reference geometry from another part. Maybe I'm going to use a boundary blend if I want to create sheet metal geometry with this shrink wrap as a reference. So let me go to create a boundary blend, and just like before, I will select 2 different edges. I will hold down the control key and select this other edge, but right now there's no preview. If I hit the check mark, I'm going to get an error that the feature failed to regenerate. If I choose OK, well, I'm going to end up with a failed feature in my model. Let's edit definition and try to figure out what's going wrong. And if you're taking a look at the edges here, you can see that, hey, right now we have a tangent boundary condition. So that's why it is indeed failing. So if you want to change that, you can right click right on there and change it to free. And on the other side, you can also do this from the Constraints tab on the dashboard. I'll change the first chain to be free as well. You'll see that there are options for curvature and normal, but again, for a sheet metal wall, I don't know why you would use that, but again, the options are there. Now we can see the preview. I will hit the check mark, and we have that sheet metal wall created. Let me hide, oops, for some reason, oh, there's the hide command, and there we have a sheet metal primary wall created with a boundary blend. In the real world, I probably would have used a sketch in order to create a planar wall in this case, but hey, it's a tool that you have in your back pocket. And to be honest, I have never really even noticed that boundary blend was right there in the ribbon because I've never used it. This is a good time to mention that you can customize the ribbon based on what you use. So again, I never use a boundary blend. If I go to the wall's overflow menu, well, there's a revolve wall. I'm probably more likely to use that or even a blend instead of a boundary blend. So if I want to customize the ribbon, I will go to File and then Options, and then underneath the Customize group, we have Ribbon. And here's sheet metal. Let me expand walls. And if I want the boundary blend not to be in the main part of the ribbon, I can grab it and just drag it to the overflow where I want it to appear, not in the sweeps group. And now it'll appear down there. I've got a little space, so hey, maybe I do want to grab the revolve and put it up here where I am more likely to use it. That's good. I will click the OK button. And in that way, I've customized my ribbon based on commands that I am more likely to use.